Kentucky sucked. And they haven't looked good so far this year for the most part. They kept it close with Kansas. They kept it sort of close with Richmond. Yesterday was an embarrassment. I didn't hear Calipari's postgame, but to me, again, there was no energy. There was no fight. There was nothing at the end of that game when I thought that they were going to fight back and have a chance, because that's what John Calipari's team generally do. And listen, I tweeted it yesterday, and people don't know where to stand with me with Kentucky, right? And my take on this is, listen, I'm not completely bought into them. I'm not. I had them ranked lower than everybody in the preseason. But what I will say is you got to give them a little bit of a break here early, because they didn't have a summer. We talked about this, Rob. A team that had nobody back. Keon Brooks, the only player who played for Kentucky last year, he's hurt right now. So they didn't have a summer, number one. Number two, they went up against two teams of these three that they lost to that are super experienced. Georgia Tech, all juniors and seniors. Richmond, 4 seniors. So it was a bad way to start the season. Having said that, Rob, I'm not completely bought in that this Kentucky team is going to look like most of the Kentucky teams of old, because right now I'm worried about Devin Askew, and I'm worried about their perimeter shooting. But it's more point guard play than anything else right now. Their defense is not great. It wasn't great yesterday, but it's going to be fine. It's their offense that has me very, very concerned, and Devin Askew in the point guard position in particular.
Yeah, I would just urge people to remember the 2019 season. If you've forgotten, Jeff, that was the year when Zion Williamson played in college basketball. I think you might have heard of that guy. And Kentucky played Duke in the Champions Classic and lost by 1 million, right? I don't remember what the actual score was, but they lost by 1 million.
We gave Duke the national title that night. We handed them the national title that night. Yeah,
we did. And then Kentucky, they took some lumps. I think they lost to Seton Hall in the Garden. There might have been they lost to someone else at some point that year, and they looked really bad against all of the mid-major teams that they played at the end of November and in early December. And then once they started figuring things out, they ended up coming – I think they made it to the Elite Eight that year, and then they lost to Auburn in the Elite Eight. I think I have the years right on this. That all kind of blends together. But they ended up being a really good team. P.J. Washington turned into an All-American kind of player. So to me, that is evidence of this Kentucky team. Like, there's a chance that they can figure it out for all the things that you mentioned. Like, they're behind in their development because they are so young. They are so new. They didn't have a normal summer, and they didn't have all of those smaller schools that they could beat up on to kind of figure out the rotations, figure out who's getting shots in certain spots, all of that stuff. And when you have such a new team and you do not have any kind of presence at the point to kind of carry you through whatever you need to get carried through, it's a bad combination of things. So they are a very bad basketball team right